The story begins in 2002 in Nagercoil, where a 17-year-old boy named Bhavani sees his family get killed by his father's enemies, who then make him take the blame for the crime. So he ends up in a juvenile detention center, where the staff treat him very badly and hurt him a lot, which makes him become tough and angry over time. Years later, after he gets out, Bhavani had builds his own criminal empire within the juvenile detention facility and turns it into a big criminal operation, where he uses kids from the detention center to take the blame for his crimes like murders. So he stays out of trouble while building a large group that deals in drugs and other illegal things, and he even kills his father's old enemies in a harsh way. The story then moves to 2019 in Chennai, where John Durairoj, called JD, works as a teacher at a college, and he drinks a lot of alcohol, which makes him come to class late or hungover. But his students like him because he is friendly and helps them, while other teachers do not like him much. A new teacher named Charu joins the college and feels sorry for JD because of his drinking problem. One day, JD gets into a discussion with the college principal, makes a bet that he can organize a good student election, and if it goes wrong, he will lose his job. So he works hard to set it up. On the final result day, some bad people come and cause violence during the event, breaking things and hurting people, which makes the election fail. Because of this, the college chairman sends JD to work as a teacher for 3 months at a juvenile detention center, even though JD does not remember applying up for it, and he goes there unwillingly. When JD arrives at the detention center, the people in charge warn him that the place has a lot of problems like kids using drugs and fighting, but JD does not listen. On his first day on the detention center, he meets some of the kids there, including an older one named Das who controls the younger kids, and 2 brothers named Sabari and Monakondan who are supposed to go to jail for a murder that Bhavani actually did. And while JD is drunk one day, the brothers slip him a note without him noticing, explaining the bad things happening in the center. The next morning, everyone finds the 2 brothers dead, hanging from the classroom ceiling, and it looks like they killed themselves, but it was really done by Bhavani to keep them quiet. The police take JD to station because they think he was not careful enough as the teacher on duty, and while he is there, Charu comes to see him and yells at him for not doing his job properly, and she tells him she is actually working for an NGO that helps kids and she was the one who put his name for the job, thinking he could help the children. JD finds the note in his pocket from the brothers, which explains how Bhavani uses the kids in the center for his crimes by giving them drugs and food in return for taking the blame. And this makes JD very sad and angry. Some men sent by Bhavani come to the station to kill JD, but he fights them off strongly and beats them up. After that, JD calls Bhavani on the phone without saying who he is and promises to make him pay for killing the 2 brothers. JD stops drinking alcohol completely and goes back to the detention center, where he starts making rules to stop the drugs and fights, and he tries to help the kids change for the better. Das does not like what JD is doing because he works secretly for Bhavani, with help from a kid named Undial. JD learns more about how Bhavani picks certain kids and gives them a special tattoo, which lets them get free drugs and food from Bhavani's people if they agree to go to jail for his crimes. JD makes a video where the younger kids, including Undial, talk about what Das has been doing wrong in the center. Bhavani's men find out about the video and go after Charu to take it from her, and they caught her, but Undial comes in time to help and saves her. JD then goes to different places that supply drugs to the center and stops them from sending more, which makes Bhavani very upset because it cuts off his control. JD sneaks into where Bhavani is hiding and warns him and his men that he will face big problems. And during this, JD holds Bhavani with what looks like a knife but is really just a pen. To get back at JD, Bhavani arranges for JD's old friend from school named Prem and a former student named Bhargav to die in separate truck accidents that look like they happened by chance, but they were planned. This makes JD very sad and he feels weak for a while because of the loss. While JD is dealing with his sadness, Das takes most of the kids from the center and plans to move them out of the state, along with some important papers that belong to Bhavani and could get him in trouble. JD gets help from another friend named Venadi, who is good at using a bow and arrow, and together they fight Das's men to save the children. JD finds Das and tells him that he is the main connection between Bhavani and the bad things at the center, and this makes Das think and decide to change his ways. Das then helps JD by taking him and the kids to Bhavani's meat factory. At the factory, some of Bhavani's men try to kill Das in a room, but Das fights them and wins. Meanwhile, JD fights Bhavani one-on-one, and even though Bhavani is strong and gets the upper hand at first, JD uses his bangle to hurt Bhavani's right hand badly, which weakens him. During the fight, Bhavani tries to talk JD into joining him in politics, but JD refuses and kills Bhavani to get revenge for Sabari and Monakondan's deaths. After saving the children, JD and Das turn themselves into the police. The government closes down the bad detention center and moves the kids to other places based based on their age, with younger ones going to new centers and older ones to prisons. And JD continues his work even in prison. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.